So we're outside Mill Hill Test Centre and got a lovely learner who's got her test next week actually. So this is her second mock test. The last one she didn't do so well on. I didn't film that one, but this one has been filmed for you guys so you can see. So I'll skip through a lot of the stuff just so you can get through the video quickly, but it's still showing the whole route, but just not every single second of it. So if you're doing a test in Hendon or Mill Hill, this is one of the routes you might get, so definitely check it out, yeah? So nice, it was quite quiet around this time as well. What time was it? It was around 9:30 we started the mock test, and it's half term as well, so it's pretty quiet. But on a normal day, it's going to be this kind of quiet anyway, even if it's not half term. So we're turning right at the end of this road. Position nicely there, not too far to the left, checking both sides. It's a bit of a weird angle to look to the left there because it's so sharp, but our learner did that really well. Going up to a roundabout. At the moment it's 30 miles an hour down this road, but as you can see it's quite bendy, so you don't want to be going too fast straight away. And then this hill here is actually on this roundabout is on a hill, and you can't see the right properly because of that hedge. So you need to approach it in first gear and check the right properly before you make your decision to go. It was nice and empty, so we went. And then here the road splits into two, following it towards the left. And you can see that lovely stop sign there, which a lot of people have messed up on, unfortunately. But our learners stopped nicely. There's a bus going past. And then you can see on the left there's some pedestrians by the crossing. They're waiting for their kid, I think. But yeah, they've told our learner to keep driving, which she's done. She's done really well to stop for them because they were by the crossing, so you got to stop there. But luckily there was communication between the pedestrians and our learner, and then she went at the right time, so that was good. Going into a 20 zone now. Some learners missed that sign there, be really careful. There is a school on the right there, which is why that section is 20 miles an hour. And then we're approaching a bus that's parked up at the bus stop. Checking mirrors to go around, done that really well. And now just pulling over on the left somewhere safe. There's not many options here, so I just told the learner to pull up behind the white van. There's a nice space just after the white van. And this is where we started the independent driving, so I just told the learner to start following signs for Totteridge. Just kind of skip through it because you don't want to be sitting there while I explain the learner what to do. So the Totteridge was to the right on this roundabout on the first one. It's a double one, but we don't need to worry about the second one. You're only concerned about the first one. And turning right, nice and clear, not too much going on here. Remember, just a right signal, no need to signal left to come off. I've done a video on how to actually signal at roundabouts. So this is where she got her first fault, pulling over on the left in a safe place, but you see she's blocked her driveway there. So unless the examiner said pull over and don't worry about the driveways, you need to make sure that you don't block any driveways, okay? We're following signs for Brent Cross now, which is third exit on this roundabout, Apex Corner, where some people get a bit tripped up by this roundabout, but it's not too tricky if you take your time and go at the right time. So we did wait here for quite a while because it was really busy, but I've skipped this bit and just to the bit where she's actually going into the roundabout. And you can see that car on the right is in their lane properly, but the lane that we're in is quite narrow at that point there because it's just starting. So our learner's done the right thing not to try to squeeze past there. And then going around, sticking to the correct lane. And then this lane actually becomes the middle lane, but you see our learner's gonna go a bit too much to the right there. And then she's realized now she's trying to go back to the left and the light is changing. And then she suddenly stopped. Luckily there's no one behind, and she did get a fault for a response to traffic lights there. She could have stopped a bit smoother. Checking the left mirror to come off. Make sure that it's safe because two lanes do come off there and then they merge into one lane here. And then you want to go back on the left, but you want to be careful of that bus as well though before you go back to the left. Make sure that it's not pulling off as you're going into that left lane, but it was nice and clear. Onto this roundabout now, going straight second exit, still following signs for Brent Cross, which is straight second exit. So a little bit of traffic approaching the roundabout, but this one's controlled by lights, so it's not going to be too tricky. And then joining it, it's not too difficult. Make sure you just keep left the whole time, go past this exit and then signal left to come off. You're going to be careful of the cars on the right there, because you see they're blocking up the right lane, and then sometimes people next to you will try to squeeze into the space to go past the other cars, so be careful there as well. Onto a 50-mile-an-hour road, so now you want to be putting your foot down if it's clear, making sure you get up to speed. And then much further down the road, we're turning left, following signs for Coptal. So onto a red light, and then now it's changed to green. Here you just want to check the right. There shouldn't be anyone coming through there, but you want to check the right just in case somebody's coming through there. Then turning right onto this roundabout. It was nice and empty, so we could just keep moving. But here our learner went, ooh, kind of like, because they're scared of that car that's coming down the road. It wasn't really a fault, but we talked about it afterwards to make sure that she doesn't mistake that car for having priority, because she had priority there. We're turning right into this car park, positioned very nicely there. See that little small box in the middle of the road? You want to position yourself there. So you see she's not moving right now. It's because there's a pedestrian crossing. You couldn't see out the camera, which is really good to wait for that pedestrian to move out the way. Here we're doing a forward bay park. So it's just doing really nicely to go a bit to the right first and then swing into the left into the bay. The lines were a bit faded on that side there. She couldn't have gone a bit more forward until the car was actually in the bay, but she decided to stop there, reverse back and correct it, which she's doing right now. So on the reverse, I thought she could have reversed back a bit more to see the lines and then gone forward, but she hasn't gone back that far, which then made the next bit a bit trickier than it had to be. But she's brought it forward now. There you go, and stopped. Good. She was a bit close to the line there, which is why she got a minor fault for control, and the fact that she had to correct it as well also gave her a fault. And then driving on again now, so it's just a matter of reversing back out and driving on. So here you want to make sure you're looking around fully before you start reversing back. Make sure that it's safe. And then once it is safe, start reversing back really slowly, the whole time looking around as well, to make sure that no one's behind you or no one's next to you. Remember, car parks have got pedestrians, they've got other cars driving past. So just, even if it looks quiet, be careful still, yeah? Because sometimes cars will come out of nowhere. Doing really well to come out really slowly. You see there's a car coming from behind. And she spotted it and she's carried on reversing because that car has stopped now. And then when she stopped to go forward now, she hasn't actually looked around again. You can't really see obviously because there's no camera in the car, but she didn't look all the way around again or once she decided to go forward. So when you reverse out of the bay, make sure you stop fully and check all around before you move forward again, yeah? Just making the way around out of the car park. Onto the exit. So here, this turn can be a bit tricky because it's very narrow for one, and also it's a bit blind on the right there. You need to make sure that it's safe before you come out, yeah? And this is a car park that they do sometimes take you if you're doing a test in Hendon or Mill Hill for the forward bay park, so be prepared for those kind of car parks, yeah? Turning right at this roundabout, 2 lanes, one for left and one for right. Nicely done. See there, she went a bit over the roundabout, but that's okay. On small roundabouts, you can do that sometimes if you don't have enough space to go all the way around. Sometimes it's not good to try to go all the way around because there's not enough space to do that, yeah? She's done well there. And then turning right onto this side road. towards Mill Hill Broadway. Positioned very nicely into that box. So she probably could have gone there, but it was kind of borderline, so I didn't really give her a fault for that, for hesitation. But now she decided to go. So when you get to a situation, don't be in a rush to like move off straight away. Take your time. If you're not sure, just wait until the next available space. And then turning left into this side road. And then I've asked her to pull over on the left in a safe place. Actually, no, I said you can ignore any yellow lines on this occasion or any driveways because there's not much spaces, but I wanted to stop there so we can discuss the emergency stop, which is what we're going to do in a second. So once we pulled over, so she didn't get a fault for pulling over by driveway because I told her that she could do that. And now we're trying to do an emergency stop. She's driving along as normal. Once you hear the word stop, you're going to put on your brake. So that's why it looks a bit harsh there, because she stopped quite hard, which is what you're supposed to do. It's like an emergency. Looked around again and then drove on. Turning left at the end here, going towards, back towards Mill Hill Broadway. And she's going to get into a situation with the bus in a second, which you'll see. So she's done well to see that bus coming down the road, and she's waited here because there's a big space on the right hand side where the bus could go into, but I think the bus driver had already made up their mind to wait up there for them, for the learner, but the learner's not really responding to it, so I had to tell her, look, the bus is waiting for you there, which is why I gave her a minor for meeting situation. Maybe you think it's a harsh, but I thought she deserved a minor there because she wasn't responding to the bus driver's kind of, you know, not moving. He's waiting up there. So normally you don't want to do this and go into that road, but in this situation she had to because the bus was waiting there for her. And even the other driver reversed back a bit to let her come through, which was nice of them to do that. And then turning left at the end of this road onto the Broadway. So here, be really careful with these traffic lights once you turn, okay? So when you turn, these traffic lights apply to you, or that it's a crossing, but if it's red, you got to make sure you stop there, yeah? So turning left at the roundabout, pretty straightforward, making sure you check the right from early, and if it's clear, keep going. So this roundabout, this is where a lot of people fail, but she's approached it really carefully because there is a car on the right there. She's slowed down nicely, checked the right again, and then there was no one close enough for her to wait for, so she's made a decision to go, which is good. And then we're turning right again. Positioned very nicely in the middle of the box. Into first gear, waiting for a good gap. Check the right mirror, once it's clear, make the turn. Nice. So here I've asked her again to pull over on the left in a safe place, which means she's got to look for like either a parking bay or next to her at the pavement, we've got like a raised curb. Okay, but you see she's kind of missed the bay here and gone a bit too far forward. Now the bonnet is halfway across that driveway, which is why she got a fault for blocking that driveway. So yeah, that's all for that one, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to be doing more of these soon, so make sure you subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.